The attackers for the Saiph Triumvirate are utilizing a Hollander A, Harasser C, Raven D, Demo D, Avatar Delta, Hollander A, and an Osiris Alpha. The defenders are utilizing a Daishi F, Ryakan B, Ryakan C, Puma Alpha, Hephaestus Gamma, Light APC with 3 respawns, and Osiris Delta. It's a 7v7 14-player match on TC Forsaken, the first map of the campaign. I am Duelist. I am the referee and your announcer for today. Now we can see that the attackers have arrived at center. This is a conversion of the popular SA and TSA map Forsaken. Has a capturable base worth 3 points in the middle, which is not going to affect us because this is a straight up drop. Most of the players are familiar with the layout of the map, but there are some significant enough changes that it should play a bit differently. A number of the players before the match mentioned to me that the train control version was one they hadn't played in a long time. So we'll see how it all goes. The teams will have 30 minutes to battle, and we're underway. So we can see that the attackers are holding there. Let's go see where the defenders are at. The defenders are also holding station in a different part of the map. You can see Proxima and the imposing Daishi. Looks like the teams are going to be playing defensively to begin the map, as they've decided to hold station at their respective places. There are 2 spawn points on this map. The bases are located in the opposite ends of...
User disconnected from your channel.
So, looks like the teams are going to rely on their scouts to try and find each other. We can see that they've positioned Rook to keep an eye out for the enemy from one position. Now the teams are closing in on each other a little bit. Kentax is going to be running into the other team's scout very quickly. And Antares, playing as a battle armor, who will have a total of 3 lives, has located the enemy team, I believe. And I don't know if the attackers have identified him yet.
No whisper target found.
Okay, we've had a disconnect, which there hasn't been any fighting yet, which means that there is a hold in place. So the 2 teams will wait for the other player to reconnect and travel back to their mech. Antares will be in position to be able to see what the attackers have, and we'll continue this in a moment on the cast march. Okay, the disconnected player has made it back, and now let's watch him as he makes it back to his asset. See that it was Vic Viper, who's in his Osiris now, and the battle should be recommencing. It'll be interesting to see what Antares does once the battle begins, so we'll be here to watch it live. Okay, Antares has been discovered. It'll be interesting to see, Antares does not have a microphone, so it'll be interesting to see if he'll be able to identify to his team what the enemy is using. He has a 300-meter range on his radar, which means that he should be able to see Silvercraft at a minimum. On his radar, it'll show up as a light mech. The harasser that Marlin is in is perfect for shooting down battle armors. It has little lasers that shoot continuously until it overheats. So Antares is kind of stuck there for the moment with 7 players gunning for him. Let's back out a bit and see where the other action might be taking place. We can see that the defenders are deciding to take the information. They know where the enemy team is now, and they're going to reposition via these rocks and attempt to close in and utilize the range. We might have some action here soon. We can see that the battle armor is being fired upon. He's in a pretty gosh darn good hiding place, and he's secure enough that he should, even without a microphone, be able to report enemy information as it becomes available. We can see that the defenders are positioning to about here, which is probably about a kilometer, maybe a kilometer and a half away from the enemy, and that they're going to send Vic Viper and some of the other pilots to potentially flank. So while they continue to move, let's see how the battle armor is holding up. We can see that the attackers are counter-flanking to an extent, heading down away from center, and that Chezer is remaining behind for a bit, and now Antares will have an opportunity to move because none of the other team really has the weapons range to shoot at him at this point. So Antares has 3 lives, and he has about 500-meter range. So he could shoot from here, but probably not hit anything except for maybe Marlin. So let's zoom back out and take a look to see where the teams are positioning. We can see that they're probably about 800, 900 meters away from each other now. Both teams are being very defensive, utilizing cover.
No whisper target found.
The 2 teams being patient, waiting to line up their shots. Please notice the fog, which prevents definitive long-range visual sighting. You definitely have to rely on radar, but most teams usually keep their radars off, which means it's hard to get a radar contact. The attacking team does have an advantage that they have it looks like, I believe, a Raven in their list, which if that's the case, a Raven is specifically designed to have good radar, and it also has a stealth package to protect itself from detection. So the battle armor can act as a bit of a scout because of its low profile and it's hard to show up on radar. But at the same time, the Raven probably has the advantage because it is a mech and can fight back, so it'll certainly be interesting. Let's zoom back out and take a look at the movements of the other team. The attackers now have 2 assets at center and are largely staying together. They are positioning away from each other. There are 30 minutes allocated for the battle, so there's plenty of time for movements and counter movements for each team. Right at the moment, Antares has 7 mechs staring him down, and this may buy time. If he's able to report, he should. Okay, he's lost 1 life. He'll be able to respawn 2 more times as long as his portable spawn machine does not get destroyed. The Armored Personnel Carrier, or APC for short, is in the field for the defenders, and they'll be able to utilize it to refill ammo. And so it needs to be in a good hiding spot, however. And Antares is a excellent battle armor pilot, the infantry, so he probably put it in a very safe place away from the field of battle. So he'll be able to move in now. We have had first contact, so any disconnects that happen from this point will not result in the match being paused. Antares has been instructed to move the APC, so perhaps closer to the battle to allow ammo reloads, or it might be in danger of being found. Let's take a look here. Looks like it's far enough out, but maybe there's enough distance that the commander has told him to move it a bit closer. We can see that the attackers continue to occupy the center base. They are trying to get position, and Burner has sent out some of his units to recon for the APC and also for the enemy. He has sent the short-range harasser and the long-range Osiris to protect Silvercraft as he moves. The Raven is a capable chassis in combat, but certainly not a frontline unit. Silvercraft is one, if not the best, of the scouting pilots in this game, so his information will be reliable and a key asset to his team. He is now moving around. He's at sufficient distance that he can probably start to see the enemy on radar. If they are in stealth mode with their radar off, with Silvercraft's radar on, depending on what Raven this is. Let's take a look here. Okay, it's not the BHP Raven, so that means that it has 1200 meter BAP radar, which means that he'll be able to see the enemy with the radar off, but not as easily as if he had the BHP radar. Now we've had a shot loosened. Okay, Antares firing on the Raven as the battle armor. Silvercraft moving in to attack. They have located the APC, and now the APC will likely be destroyed. If not right away, soon, and Antares will not have his extra life to respawn. Antares is moving in to attack to try to get their attention, but these veteran players will be dedicated to destroying the APC. This will be a loss of one BA life and the loss of the ability to respawn. To reload ammo. So Antares is going to be as aggressive as he can. That APC does not have a ton of armor, and there it goes. So now Antares will not be able to respawn. So he will attack, but perhaps be a bit more cautious in his maneuvering than if he would be if he knew he had one extra life. He will probably attempt to report the enemy position and composition, and then we'll probably try to get away here back to the main battle group so he can continue to contribute to the battle. Neither of these mechs really has good anti-BA weapons, so he might be able to stay alive for a while. Vic Viper has moved up. They're using the information, and we have a full-blown attack. GN King is down. Warlord Kentax and Vic Viper and Rook Zero are moving up, all very capable pilots. Silver's down, so while they lost the APC, they were able to use the information, and Taris was able to stay alive long enough that they were able to get 2 of their pilots down. So now it is a 5-on-7. Those were light mechs, but they just lost their radar advantage, and that is 2 less mechs that have guns and armor. And I should make a note that APCs and battle armor are not considered carrying weapons, so if they are the last things alive for a team, that team will automatically lose because they are not considered vehicles or assets that are capable of ending a battle, basically. This also applies to flying assets such as VTOLs and aerospace. So the one disadvantage to taking any of these things is that if you take them, you have to utilize it correctly. Otherwise, you're essentially already down a carrying asset. So we're going to back out here a bit. Now, that's not to say that certainly taking non-carrying assets can be a good idea. They have their advantages, but I'm just pointing out that they also potentially have their disadvantages in a battle. Now, Marlin is their only fast, scouty asset left. I do believe that's the Sparkle, which, if I remember correctly, has GECMs, so he's able to keep his radar on. So he will attempt to scout a bit. But his firepower is only at 250 meters, and since it only weighs 25 tons, that's light in this game. Things weigh up to 100 tons. He will not attempt to go into battle by himself. The defenders are now on the hunt, on the move. They know they have the numbers. They know they are now 70 tons heavier. Although the battle armor and the APC only weigh 25 tons, so it's still an advantage, but in terms of fighting, perhaps not as much of an advantage as if the BA were a mech. That's to say, Taris is an excellent battle armor pilot, and if he can work on a distracted enemy, he can certainly do a lot of damage and contribute to the battle. However, they'll be keeping the battle armor with the main group. And we can see Marlin acting as the scout for now. He is the second fastest asset in this game, capable of traveling at about 160 kph. So he can run away from all of the assets on the defending team. We can see Burner's team. Burner, the drop commander, is moving to reposition now. That is a Demolisher tank. That is 80 tons of nasty close-range firepower. There are models that have a bit more range, such as the Gauss, but I believe this is the Demolisher Echo, which has 600-meter range, twin ultra autocannon 10s. You can see that Burner's moving back to one of the bases. Again, the turrets are disabled, so the teams are able to utilize the entire map. They are not allowed to go in and take harbor inside one of the bases, but they are certainly allowed to perhaps use these blast walls as cover. And I'm going to suspend some of my commentary to just allow you, the audience, to take in some of the excellent audio that Living Legends has to offer. looks like the teams are staring each other down at the moment. You can really get a feel for... This map is known as Forsaken, and you can really get a feel for the loneliness and the wilderness of a whole lot going on outside of the wind blowing. It's a hot map. And certainly the environment plays. And Burner is telling his team we're there, but if we're going to fight, we're going to stick at max range and make them come to us. And the battle is underway again. ATM missiles. They found Marlin, and Marlin is going to have to get out of there. Marlin attempting to distract them to allow the rest of the group to reposition. Marlin is down, and now it is just a matter of time unless attackers are going to pull off a major upset. They will charge and attempt to do as much damage as they can. It'll all be about focusing firepower. Focusing on Django right now, while Kentax is moving in to attack the Demolisher. They're now going to focus on the Demolisher tank. They've taken off Warlord Kentax's arm. They've gotten Kentax down at the cost of their own Demolisher. That leaves Burner, Toe Jam, and Django. Burner's now down. Two mechs versus 6. Django, and now Bob will fight as hard as he can, but we will move on to the next match with the defending team taking the first map, and we'll need to win 2 more in order to secure a successful defense of the planet. On behalf of the Chaos March, this has been Duelist. You have a good week, and we will see you next time.